going to use these half sours here. Olex, how's it going? You are very live with me making, finishing up this piece of popcorn chicken with our grater chicken sandwich here. If I do plan on running reruns in the future, I promise you I will put it in the title. We just made our own mayonnaise. We did a brine yesterday. We did our cooking stream. We did a burrata salad and made some brown butter white chocolate chip cookies. And we started our brine for this stream today. I'm not a chef. Thank you for asking. Enthusiast, hobbyist. I have experience working in restaurants much younger, and I worked as a bartender for about 3 years at a fancy cocktail bar. So you have a little bit of a background, but not a big one. Alright. So we're going to do a second fry on these, but that's the start there. You're looking for a chef. What do you need a chef for, Mr. Olax? Or Miss Olax? Do you have a chef question? Miss Olax? Okay. To collab with? What are you doing for a collab? Do you also run a cooking stream? Now we're just getting our heat up here. We're going to start toasting our potato buns. That's okay, you have my attention. I'm listening. You're from India? Okay. I'm from America. My name is Moon. Mr. Moon. Yep, you're probably a Twitch streamer. You're that or you die a lot in Fortnite. One of those two. I mean, I figured most of the people that... Yep. Alright, we're gonna get these guys on the toasty side. Yeah, I mean, usually those people are more obvious or they're trying to sell me, like, graphics. Or, like, telling me to join their Discord to follow them back. Oops. Alright, thank you. Tell me about collabing with a chef. I've never really heard of somebody collabing with a chef. I'm gonna put a thin layer of mayo on there. I usually would use like a butter, but I've heard this trick with mayo for like a grilled cheese. And the oils come out and they put a really even brown color on your bun. And we're looking for a good crust. I'm just gonna turn that down a little bit. For a streamer event, someone who doesn't know your community at all, okay, that's fair. Just bump this out of place here. Oh, I see. Okay. So you have like a series of questions and stuff for people to ask, and then they figure out what a job is. Cams and mic for flow of conversation. Okay. Yes or no questions. Okay. This sounds fun. Just making sure we're not stuck too bad here. Get a nice crisp going on there. I'm going to turn this like all the way down to low just to get a little more of a crust. Fun. That sounds really neat. I haven't heard too many people doing something like that. Keep that on nice and low there. Don't want to steam it though. Think about it later and let me know. Okay, yeah. That sounds neat. It almost sounds like a curveball too, you know. If somebody did like figure out my channel and look at it, they would never know that I wasn't a chef. Not trying to brag, I just get it a lot. Wait. The old bait and switch, you know? Oh, I'm in between jobs. So if you said jobless, that'd be fun, right? I bet you'll find a lot of those people on Twitch. My most recent career was in human resources. Getting a good crust on this. Very nice. Nice even brown. I can take these guys off. And then we'll do our switcheroo again. We're just going to put our... You can hear her, huh? Poor Hilda. She just wants a bite of this chicken, I can tell you that. She's letting me know. Evan, I got some half sour pickles we're going to use today. I have like a sweet and sour, like a sweet relish, but it's actually just like sweet pickle relish, but with like not as much of the gel. You know what I'm talking about? And I also have like regular like kosher dills, but I also got these half sours. I think the half sours are going to be really good with this. She's ooh-wooing away. Ooh. You had pickles, Grillos? This is a different brand. So I saw the Grillos, and the Grillos were like $1 more. These are called Crisp. Crisp with a C. And I've just sliced them the long way. You were an apprentice chef, so you also do cooking streams. Gotcha. Well, thank you for telling me that you thought I was a chef. I appreciate that from our apprentice chef. Like I said, people tend to call me one because I cook at a certain level, but I'm self-taught, so. No, it's not uncomfortable at all. You piqued my curiosity. Yeah. No, I kind of hold a similar reverence to the whole thing. Yeah. I met a lot of famous people too, so. But I don't call myself a chef. I was a kid when I worked in the restaurant the first time, so. Hilda. Quiet baby. So we're just heating up our oil again for our second fry. We did a chicken thigh we brined in a 10% salt solution, sugar and salt solution. We added a little bit of dill pickle. And we get a nice 2-to-1 rice flour and bread flour crust on here. It's still very nice and crispy. And we cooked it to 185 Fahrenheit, which is a little above the 165 Fahrenheit you usually do for chicken. That's to make sure we get things starting to break down and get a nice bite experience when you go for like a chicken sandwich. And the crisp is going to come back. So we've already got a very nice crunchy crust. When we cook it again, it's going to finish off that like shattering crisp to it. So really nice lacy crust with a bit of crunch too. So we got our buns toasted up, and we'll get a plate for those. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely will. Oh, so you're like a late night streamer too, where you are. I get a lot of West Coast America for my streams usually, or Central. So cool. Okay, 10 p.m. So a little earlier than that. A lot of Canadian streamers. Yep. I know a lot of Canadian streamers as well. Cool. I'll get back to you. I promise. In the least, you're at least gonna get a follow from me for being cool. So. All right, our temperature on our oil is getting back up there. Just make sure. We got a nice even crust on there. Fair enough. Yeah, I appreciate that. We made a nice mayonnaise here, bit of spice, a little citrus. We're just gonna lay down, I think you can see this underneath my tripod here. We're just gonna lay a nice even layer here. We're gonna put down some nice red cabbage too. Sounds great. Thank you. And you have a lovely weekend. Alright, let's grab some really fun looking pieces here for our two streamable ones here. I hear the sizzle. I see the bubbles I want. I hear the Hilda. We're gonna have to take her out before I finish. Of course. Thank you. We don't need to be in here for that long. We just want to get a nice crust on there. All those bubbles are going to be steam coming out of the chicken. We don't want to turn this crust too dark. We want the nice original flavor of our brine and our breading to shine right through. So. Now that this is cooled a little more, I'm going to pull this aside just so I can move my station over here. Fill the Shady Grove. Hold up. For those who don't know, you're hearing Hilda. She is my 13-pound Chihuahua mix, and she loves cooking with Dad. We got a nice brown color on there, nice crisp, maybe a little bit farther than I wanted, but we're just going to do these two. And just to prolong our conclusion here, I am going to be right back, friends. We're back. Alright. Hilda is satisfied. I like to think. She still hasn't gotten her teeth into one of these chicken sandwiches, which I think is probably her real end goal. Hilda end game, as they say. But look at these guys. Look at that. Nice crispy chicken sandwich. Chicken burger to some of you. But then what do you call the ground chicken that you put into a patty? Are they the same thing? I might be biased. But then again, maybe you are too if you say chicken burger. But I think that's it, friends. It's been about 2 hours of making fried chicken sandwiches and chit-chatting and going out to handle Hilda. So I will see you guys tomorrow for some video games. And we'll be putting some pictures up in Discord of the food. I was tempted, I may have to drain that oil first. I was tempted to do some crispy potato wedges or something like that, but maybe I'll hold off and just do the potatoes for something else. But I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll catch you guys next time.